Hi and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to paint this beautiful banana using watercolors. I'm using a mix of mijello mission gold colors and winsor and Newton colors for making this. I'm not going to be drawing the banana. I have an image in front of me and I'm just going to use my paints directly. So in case you want to speed up the video, go ahead and do that. I am showing it in real time wherein you can see every single stroke that I'm making. So if you want to paint, you can just paint along with me and you can create this beautiful piece of painting. So when I'm making these kind of paintings, I like to directly use my brush as a paint medium, wherein instead of a pencil I would use the lightest color which is there in that particular painting to create sort of a structure, and then I go about painting inside it. So it's very important in watercolors to go step by step. Always start with the lightest and then go on with a slightly darker version. Like over here, initially I started off with a lemon yellow, and then I have taken like a nice mango yellow to create the different peels. You have to be also a little quick because if you need to use water and then fade out these colors, then you'll have to do it a little faster. If you're a little slow, then the colors will just stay. You can see over here how I used water to just push the colors around, and that gives it a really nice shade. And I'm now moving on to the next darker color, which is a nice brown. Leave some amount of white spots here and there. You can either make it like as if it's a shadow somewhere, and so next to it is like a small white spot which is like a highlight, or randomly you can just leave some spaces, so that gives like a really nice realistic effect to your painting. Observe your image. There are a lot of times where in the image itself there would be like the small section which would be white, so it will be pretty bright that way, so you can chalk it out. Now if you're a beginner who's watching this video and you're not very familiar of how to do this style of painting, just take a pencil, draw it first, and then fill in the colors. So now I'm taking some green at the base. Another very good thing about watercolors is once you add colors on the top, once you layer it up and you use a little bit of water, all the colors at the base will also get activated and you can blend it into a certain extent. So that way it's a very versatile medium. So even if you end up taking something a little darker on the top, you can even blend it, or you can even use some tissue or something to lift it off. So I'm using now the tip of my brush to create like these thin lines, and also I make the brush sleeved if I have to create bolder strokes. In case you're a beginner who's watching this video, then it's a good idea to mix all of these colors beforehand and then keep them and then go about painting them. Since I'm pretty used to watercolor painting and I've been doing this for many decades right now, for me it's really fast to mix my colors. But in the beginning, just feel free to mix your colors beforehand. You don't have to do it in a specific style. Do whatever suits you the best. In watercolors, you can do two styles of painting. One is an abstract style where it is probably, you decide how many strokes you want to do, how many different kinds of layers you want to create to make something look the way it is supposed to in your mind. And there's the other style which is kind of like a realistic style. So today what I'm doing is sort of a realistic style of it, which normally comes alive by creating a lot of layers. Like you can see over here, I'm constantly upgrading my layers. I'm using the same color, each time slightly darker. Sometimes I would apply a dark color and I would still take water and then wash it out. So it's very important to do that in watercolors. You don't always have to have like a very strong top layer which you create when you're layering on top. Go slow, one by one, step by step, and then just look at your painting from a distance and see whether it makes sense, whether it looks the way you want it to look, or just come back to it again after some time, maybe the next day even, and then decide what you want to do with it. Another thing to keep in mind is whether your layers have dried. So if you're doing a little realistic kind of painting, make sure that your layers have semi-dried, so don't use too much water. If you observe my style of painting, I wouldn't be using a lot of water. So what happens is my layers also tend to dry up a little faster. They're all, most of them are semi-dry, which makes it easier for me to blend in if I need to. So just keep that in mind. So what I'm doing right now is creating a nice shadow. So I've taken like a nice crimson, and I'm just blending it in the sides with water, just dragging the color out to make it lighter. For shadow, you can use any color. It's very interesting to do that. I hope you had a nice time watching this video with me, and if you're new here, do consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.